Good evening and welcome to the third Big Gunner Talks. And today I don't know, I don't even know how to describe it. I've got an op right now. I've got someone that I really shouldn't have on the show, but I think she deserves to be on the show because I think she's got a lot to say. I've been following her for a while. She doesn't want no drama. So guys, please do not give her any drama. But Abby, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm so happy you asked me to come on. I'm so happy to come on, regardless of the fact that you're a gunner. So we'll let that one go. We'll let our differences slide for now. I'm happy to be on here, happy to talk to all you guys, and be nice. No drama, please. Give me no drama.
TJ, thank you for joining. We're very well, thank you. I'm going to answer for myself. I'm very well. Abby, do you want to answer for yourself? Because I don't want to speak for you.
I'm good. I can't believe it's already nearly 7:30 on a Tuesday. Yeah. I don't know where time goes. But yeah, it's going somewhere.
Unfortunately, TJ, yes, a Spurs fan. So yeah, before we're gonna start actually. How did you become a Spurs fan?
So my dad grew up in Edmonton. So I was basically on the doorstep through him. And then he always went to Tottenham. And then obviously when I was born, I didn't go when I was really little. I started going when I was 7, 8 years old, as I just got more into football. I'm an only child, so he didn't have a son. But he always says I'm the daughter he always wanted and the son he never had, which is kind of cute. So I just picked up football. I just always loved it, and obviously by default I was a Spurs fan, and that's kind of how it happened. Fell into it.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm actually from Tottenham, so it's quite funny. Like I lived in Tottenham my whole life, but nobody in Tottenham supported Tottenham. This is what's really irritating. I've got a close group of friends: Mitchell, John, and Ronnie. And Reese, they were like 4 Spurs fans out of 30, 40 kids that used to play football. So, but now I think it's a bit more fashionable to support Spurs.
Definitely.
So how's the season going for you? We're going to quickly just talk about it and then before we get onto the serious stuff. How's the season going for you?
How's the season going? I mean, it was going a lot better before Christmas. But look, it's one of those things. Realistically, were we ever going to win the league? No. It's always good to dream about it. If you're in the position and you're sitting top of the table, what club wouldn't? For however long it lasts for. As for the season, form-wise, at the minute, let's see what happens now post Burnley. Let's see if we can make a little run. Let's see what happens now. Bale's back. Let's see if Dele's going to be in the side. I think that I feel like it's a bit soon to judge because even though we've gone from like 1st to 8th, 9th, I think that the gap is so small. Like between like West Ham in 4th. We all know that West Ham are inevitably going to drop off because it's West Ham at the end of the day. And then you've got teams like Leicester. I mean, you lot beat Leicester, which I don't think most people would have had down. And you just look at the injuries and how that's affected Leicester, Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it's inevitable that it will happen more as the season continues, as we get to the business end of it. So I think for us, and similarly to you, I think the Europa League is going to play a very big part in how this season ends, assuming obviously we both progress through this next round. And then we'll see from there. It can go one or two ways for Tottenham. It can be a really great season. You could end up with a Carabao Cup, a Europa League, and potentially finish 4th, potentially. Or you can have none of the above. So I think it's too soon to tell. I think the next few weeks will be testing. Yeah. Definitely.
I know you can't really say too much because it would be a bit irresponsible, but in terms of Mourinho, are you in, out, indecisive?
Look, I was a very big fan of Pochettino, so I get told that I am automatically Jose out, and that's not the case. I'm not Jose in and I'm not Jose out because I think there's a lot of factors that have contributed to why Tottenham have become how they are, if that makes sense. I think that, the style of play necessarily doesn't suit us, trying to be so defensive minded in a team that, with the greatest respect to them, is not a great defensive team and hasn't been for a very long time. I think that there's aspects of the team which are very stale, which is to do with the board, and everyone, who follows me will know how I feel about that situation. And, I was saying 2-3 years ago that you could see it. It was literally watching something you love slowly deteriorate in places when it didn't need to happen. And then it's the players themselves, you know. So I saw an article in The Athletic last week, which is a great article, really hit the nail on the head in various things about Tottenham. Don't know if, you know, your followers would have seen it, but it was saying about the players. You know, they moaned so much, especially towards the end, about Pochettino, his regime, you know, the double sessions and all of that. And now they moan that they're not trained hard enough, and, you know, it's not how it was under him. But the grass isn't always greener. So I think I'm not Jose out, because I think that he is a proven winner. No one can take that away from him. Look at his resume, you know, regardless of what people think about him. I think that taking the Tottenham job was his last seat at the Premier League big boy table. I think most people would agree with that. And it was a very big risk for Daniel Levy to get rid of a manager that was so loved in Pochettino, you know, regardless of that last kind of 6 months. But like I said, it can either be a stroke of genius in a way if you end up winning, you know, a European trophy, a Carabao Cup, and finishing 4th, or it can be it was all for nothing.
You spoke about the players. If we take Harry Kane out of the equation, take Son out of the equation, probably take Lloris out of the equation, and Ndombele, do any of the rest of them can they really be complaining? Like, because I feel Spurs got to the Champions League, and obviously they could have got better players and maybe should have. But obviously we know money's a bit tight everywhere at the moment. Do you just think any of these players are actually good enough? Because when people keep saying Spurs should be here, Mourinho should be getting better out of these players, I mean, Poch got great out of the players, but they've been the same players for the same 3-4 years. So how far can you take them? You can't really take them any further, I don't think.
No, well, that's what you know, what I was trying to say with the factors as to why Tottenham have got there. They, you know, Pochettino had this incredible way of managing players and getting them to overachieve, you know, levels above their station in some situations, which we've obviously seen a lot, you know, namely in Harry Winks, who springs to mind. And I was a very big fan of Harry Winks. I love that he's Tottenham boy through and through, but you can't deny that he's obviously gone backwards since Pochettino's left, you know. So it just shows you the type of management skills that can get players to perform above that. But there was no doubt that while we were still at Wembley, you know, that back end of that season, while we were still there, we went on that Champions League run. You could see that we needed investment. We needed, you know, and we needed better defenders. We needed to replace Dembele in midfield. We needed someone to help Kane, you know, at that time. We just needed, at that point, I think we were maybe 2 or 3 players off of, you know, maintaining it, pushing on to the next level. But now I look at us and I think, okay, I think we're 5-6 players off of where we need to go. It's quite similar to Arsenal, you know, but you know, going back a few years when you still had good players, you still had the Sanchez's and Ozil was still very much part of the picture. You only needed 3-4 players at that point to take you probably back to where you needed to be in, you know, in the Champions League and doing things like that. But when you don't invest at the right time, or you don't invest, you know, well, and there was a tweet going around about Steve Hitchen and about, since he's been at Tottenham, the players he's brought in, and you look at this list, it's like 30 different players, and you probably don't count more than 5 or 6 that have actually benefited and impacted the club. So you have to look at the recruitment as well. And if you are recruiting, is that player going to improve you, or is it just staying like that? Because we both know that Tottenham and Arsenal are similar in the sense you're not going to be a Manchester City. You're not going to go and spend, you know, a ridiculous amount on a player, pay the wages and stuff like that. It's not how you're going to do it. So you're going to have to accept the fact that you're not going to get an Mbappe, but you might get someone that's probably everyone wants an Mbappe or a Haaland or someone or a Messi, but you're not going to get that. You're probably not going to get your second choice. You'll probably get your third choice. But you've got to make sure that that third choice is good enough to be able to benefit your team. Otherwise, you've just got another player. You just got another squad player. And effectively, I mean, Tottenham and Arsenal have had a lot of squad players rather than a lot of quality signings, you know, over the years. And I think that's where Tottenham this summer, assuming they're going to go and strengthen that defence, which is the main area that Tottenham need to rebuild. And you see with like one signing, Ruben Dias, you know, Virgil van Dijk, a good defender costs you money, but ultimately it's the most important signing you'll make.
I mean, I don't even see where there are that many great defenders out there. I mean, I'm showing my age, but at one stage there was obviously Sol Campbell, Rio Ferdinand, Cannavaro, Nesta, Maldini. There was like 15, 20 world-class centre-backs. And when we ask about a world-class centre-back now, you're struggling. And then you're sort of throwing like Ramos and Van Dijk. And for me, as good as Van Dijk is, it's only been 2 seasons that he's been, or three, now coming up to 3 seasons that he's been at the top. So I think it's tough, and the only team I can look at and say they just get it spot on every time is Leicester. I look at them and think, you've sold Chilwell and you sold Maguire for nearly 100 million, or over 100 million, sorry, and then you've bought in Fofana, Castagna. They bought in 5 or 6 players with that money, and you just think, okay, if Leicester can do it, then why can't we do it? Why can't Spurs do it?
They have an incredible. Firstly, Leicester have an incredible board. Like, I mean, if you're Brendan Rodgers, because there's always this debate over, if Spurs get rid of Mourinho, should they go for Rodgers? And I think if I'm Brendan Rodgers, why am I leaving Leicester? Like, I've got a good thing here. I've got a board that back me every window. They won't. As I said before, no one's going to compete with Man City financially, but they managed to sell and recruit so well. And you think to yourself, why don't Spurs do that? Why don't Arsenal do that? Because, if anything, they're a bigger club than Leicester, you could say, in terms of, being in the Champions League and things like that. I've just seen Elena. Hi.
Yeah,
she's jumped up.
So
yeah, that's my opinion. There's no reason why Tottenham and Arsenal couldn't do better when you're all basically fishing in the same pool.
That's what's really, I found really, really frustrating for the last season or two, is that Leicester are just getting all of these players and we're struggling, and we've spent how much on Pepe and how much on this person and that person, and they're just doing it so easily. And I'm just like, you're Arsenal or you're Spurs, you need to be able to go over there, steal whoever's in charge of their signings and bring him to your club, because whatever
it's like clout. It's about having clout, and it's funny because obviously you look back over the years and you think how much clout Arsenal used to have, and then Tottenham or Arsenal are very, very similar. They're kind of at the same point now. I don't think there's any.
Arsenal we just give people ridiculous wages, and I think that's what can enable you to get a bit better of a player, just because you can give them stupid, like Willian's on just ridiculous money. Some of these players are on ridiculous money. So I think that's the only difference between Arsenal and Spurs, is that you stick to your wage structure, and we just don't seem to have one. The only thing I would worry, are you worrying about Kane and possibly Son? I think Son's a bit more. I think he'll stay longer than Kane, to be fair. Are you worried about Kane leaving?
I'm not necessarily worried about it, because I think if he's going to stay, I think it's purely for COVID reasons. And I think that we might be. I think we're lucky we got this season. I think we might be lucky enough to get another. If things go the way they are, would I blame him if he left? Would I resent it? No, because I think he's that good. He deserves to win things, and if it's not going to be at Tottenham, then he's that good of a player. You've got to let him go. He's always said he'll stay at Spurs as long as Spurs match his ambition. And there's an argument, obviously, if we end up winning the Europa League, if we end up winning the Carabao Cup, if we finish top 4, I guess it's matching the ambition. But if you don't finish the season with any of the above, and if I'm Harry Kane, I'm 28. I've got to go win trophies. It's a similar story with Gareth Bale, obviously, all those years ago. He was. It's slightly different because Harry Kane is Tottenham through and through, and he's idolised at that club and always will be. And Gareth Bale similarly was, but you knew that Gareth Bale was probably too good for the team at that time. And he deserved the chance to go and win trophies. And I feel the same with Harry Kane, that if Tottenham don't do something this season in terms of winning the Europa League, finishing top 4, getting that Champions League football for next season, being able to bring in players that can benefit him, I don't hold it against him if he was to leave.
Top of their game, Harry Kane or Gareth Bale?
That's such a good question.
Because
they're different.
They're different, but I'm swaying. I don't know. There's just
They
There's just
both
something
have
about
the
Gareth Bale,
ability.
man.
They both have the ability to win a game, like
Yeah,
single-handedly.
110%. Yeah,
Single-handedly. I mean,
but I
seen Gareth
think
Bale do it so many times. So many times.
that's the
Gareth Bale.
thing. I think it's more memorable when Gareth Bale does it because I think we're just so used to Harry Kane just scoring that if he does get you out of like a muddy situation, it's just kind of just normal. But I just
Yeah.
think when I used to watch Gareth Bale and Gareth Bale do it, he had some like I think the Spurs team is probably better than I don't know actually. I was gonna say it's better than any team Kane Gareth Bale played in, but I'm not sure.
What
But I
Spurs?
don't know.
I think when he was last here, I think Spurs. I actually remember the squad quite well from when he
That
was
last
before
season.
he left. There was some good individual players, and I think that's up until kind of 2016-17 when every position was really good for Spurs.
Yeah.
And when we should have kicked on after that, which we didn't necessarily. Back when he was here the first time, there was good individuals. Like the Defoes. I think Vertonghen was there his last season. Van der Vaart was there. Modric was there. There were good individuals, but as a squad, it probably wasn't great in every position. A bit similar to now, but then you think at the minute he's playing with Harry Kane, who's one of the best, if not in the world. I don't know. It's a really good question. It's difficult because they are they're different and they impact differently.
The football you guys played with the last season that Gareth Bale was there. The football that you guys played that season, I think you probably were. You were playing the best football in the league that last season that Gareth Bale was there.
I think with the Bale thing, a lot of it was give the ball to Bale. Just give the ball. Give the ball to Bale.
It's getting to that way with Kane now because you're seeing Kane just everywhere, and everyone's like, Mourinho's elevated his game, but I think personally he's taken away from his game because he's doing too much. I don't think Harry Kane should be doing as much as he's doing, especially as he's got these ankle injuries that seem to come about once a season now. Personally, I think I was always saying Kane is the best striker in the world, but for some reason I never had Lewandowski in my head. Well, I think obviously Lewandowski then Kane for me, like for number 9s in the world. But just remember seeing Gareth Bale sometimes. Just he was unstoppable. I think you could mark Kane. I think Gareth Bale at his best. I don't think you could stop him. Like
I mean, Will he was unplayable on his day. I think Harry Kane is different in the sense that Gareth Bale was good at not just one thing, but he was good. He was good at that. Whereas Kane, if you watch Kane week in week out, he does drop deep. He can pick a pass from anywhere. He will track back. He'll defend, and he's such an all-round player, not just a 9. And I think that's what people love about him so much. It's so rare you see strikers do the dirty work and do that and track back and all that. And some of the balls he can put on a plate for people. And I think the difference is this season, obviously, since Christian Eriksen left, and obviously not having Dele play in the side behind him, he's having to do a lot of that work for other people. Whereas before he didn't have to do that because someone else would do it for him. And that's I think where Tottenham's really missed out, not replacing Christian Eriksen and having someone in that little hole that can ping balls about for fun, pick the pass, and know where Kane's going to be. So instead, that's why there were so many assists for him with Son, because he was ultimately doing that job. But I think he's enjoyed it. I think he's enjoyed it. No, we never replaced Dembele.
Best centre midfielder I've seen in recent times in the Premiership. He was that good. And
couldn't get the ball off him.
He was playing for Spurs, why people didn't have him as the best. But if you just watched him, he was just unplayable because he has skill, pace. He was a winger. He was essentially had the attributes of a winger playing centre midfield, which it's unstoppable. And I thought we had that in Oxlade-Chamberlain, but again, injuries and then joining Liverpool. We could talk forever, and we've got 20 minutes in, and we haven't actually spoke about why you're actually here. The reason why I asked you to come on was because obviously, Big Gunner Talks is about speaking to people that I feel are role models for other people. And at the moment, obviously, it's a big focus on women in sport, and seeing how much followers you got, I see the content you're putting out. It's not it's not. Sometimes when I see it, I think people are trying to fit in, and I don't ever feel like you're just trying to fit in. I feel like you just say what's on your mind, you say what you feel, which I think a lot of people should follow, and just say what you feel and not be afraid to say what you feel. So tell us all the things that you do. Actually, I can't even. That's just you've got so many things that you do. But
I do a lot of things.
tell us about some of the podcasts that you're on. If you leave anyone out, you're going to be in trouble. So I think it's
I
best to
know
just
I'm going to be
quickly
in
name
trouble.
them. Just
All
try
right,
to remember
so
them quickly.
I'm going to try and remember. So I work for I work with Sony Sports India, which is been working for them for about last 6 months, which is why I get to go to games and cover Tottenham, because I'm doing their stuff for Tottenham, and I'm very, very lucky that I get to be able to do that, especially in this time when people can't go. Obviously, being able to see my own team is like a bonus. I mean, look, I wouldn't care if I was going to, the local Sunday league, but it's just even better for me that I can go and cover and report on my own team. Makes me very, very happy that Sony gave me that opportunity. I also do a podcast called Run of Play with 3 other guys. So Liam Heath, at Liam Heath, and Cam and Elliot. So 2 of them work for Copper 90. So I do that with them, and it's basically about football culture. So we don't like talk about it like post-match and pre-match things. It's not about one particular team or anything like that. We basically discuss everything about football. So whether it be, referees or journalists or fan culture, crazy people that like go to ultras games and things like that and fit in with ultras and play both sides and all things like that. So we do that every 2 weeks. I was doing work with Give Me Sport, writing for their fan stuff. It's on pause at the moment because I think they are doing something to do with COVID, so that's on pause for the minute. Trying to think of my Twitter bio, what else I do. Rivalry Aside TV, part of that team. I'm part of their team. I've been a little bit absent lately, but I should be back on with them very soon. I'm trying to think what else is in my Twitter bio. Oh yeah, of course, the Spurs Web. We do stuff with the Spurs Web. I was writing. Yeah, I forgot about them. I was writing with them, and we're now doing a YouTube channel with guests pretty much every week. So we're lining up the next one, which hopefully will be next week or the week after. Interviews with former players and people like that. Off the top of my head, I think that's all I do.
You do anything for yourself?
Do I do anything for myself? I work 9 to 5 every day. I have a regular job, like every regular person on here. So all my work that I do is freelance, and in my spare time and my evenings. So anyone that thinks I'm doing anything else, I promise you throughout the day I'm very busy with my own job and my own working with the company I work for, which takes enough of my time up anyway. But I love all my freelance stuff. So doing podcasts, doing freelance journalism, whether it be broadcasting, whatever. I love every opportunity. I say yes to everything. Because I always think you should just say yes in life.
Don't say that out loud.
I know I'm going to get trolled for saying that. They're going to be like, you told me you'd say yes. But no, I feel like you should say yes to every opportunity in life, because you just don't know what door could open for you next. And be positive and invite positive things into your life, and you'll get it back.
TJ is waiting to ask, have you played football before?
I played football at school, but there was really not a very big emphasis on football. I was not very good. So I'm going to say no, in case anyone wants to challenge me. I'm not up for it. So yeah, I did, but not very well.
Good. That's it. All right. So we're going to get on to the last couple of things, because obviously I'm worried about time. So yeah, we're going to talk a bit about social media. Obviously you support Spurs, so straight away you're gonna have people say some really outrageous things anyway because you support Spurs. But just tell us about it, because I know you before we started I asked you, and I felt like it was just gonna lead to a long train of craziness. So let's try to get some of that craziness out.
Look, like we said earlier off camera, like, if you've got any type of following, whether it be someone who's got 20 million followers, 10 followers, people seem to think that you can just say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Like, people's mental state doesn't matter what's going on in their life. I don't know why people do it. It's just, unfortunately, comes with with having social media in general. There'd be Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, you know. And being a woman and also doing stuff in a male-dominated industry means that I always get subjected to so much bollocks said about me, to me, and I don't retaliate. It's not my style to retaliate. And I always think if you, I promise you, it's really hard, because I'd love to put so many people in their place, but you don't gain it. You don't gain anything from it. Like, if people want to say what they want about me, they don't know who I am. I really don't care. I've got very thick skin. I'm very confident in myself, who I am. You know, I'm a good person. I'm a kind person. I would never go and troll someone. It's not my thing, not my nature. And when I see people do it to me, I simply just either ignore it or block them. And the reason I block it is because I think if you feel that way about me, why would you need to see what I'm doing? Why would you need to see what I'm working on, what I've worked hard to get to on my own? You know, like I said, I didn't go to university, I didn't get a degree. All the, you know, jobs I've managed to get myself, freelance stuff, has all been from hard work. I've had a full-time job since I was 17. I'm now 27. And I've done everything on the side. So, you know, people will say what they want about me because of the way I look. And they'll make assumptions and say I'm only, you know, at this game because of this reason and whatever. And it's just, it doesn't even warrant justifying it, you know. And I think the second you just to try and justify yourself, try and defend yourself, literally just gives people more ammunition to attack you and bite back at you. So I just say nothing and let people think what they think. Let people do what they do. Most of the time I'm sitting there literally like pissing myself laughing at some of these comments. And I just feel sorry for people. If you have to take the time out of your day to go and, you know, say something shit about someone online for doing their job or the way they look or whatever, I just feel like, oh my God, it's not even, you don't even warrant my response, because I actually I just want to pray for you. Like, I feel sorry for you.
And it seems to be, it is, obviously it's all women, all colours, shapes and sizes. But obviously I follow three of you Spurs women, and obviously you've all had quite a bit of craziness said to you. And like, I know you said you got thick skin, but does it actually ever get to you? Because sometimes I feel it for you sometimes. So does it?
It's honestly,
I don't want you to say yes, because if you say yes, then people might start thinking.
I promise, it really doesn't bother me, because if it was said if things were said by someone that I respected, you know, or knew, it's a different story. But you know, Dave on Twitter, who, you know, has got no following and whatever, I don't care. You know, it's someone's opinion on me, and everyone's going to have an opinion, and it's a social media platform, so you're on there to give your opinion. That's fine. If someone doesn't like me, I've got no issue with it, but you don't have to follow me. You know, I'm not going to sit there and say, I don't like you, so I'm going to tell you how I feel about you. I just wouldn't react to it. And I think that people just enjoy sometimes being toxic for no reason. Like, I saw something about me last night, and actually a few of my friends, I didn't even know it was going on, to be fair, and they were already like on the case, like being like, this is disgusting. And like, I love that I have friends and I know people that will stick up for me, and it's very sweet, because, you know, I don't need sticking up for. I'm a big girl. If I wanted to handle it myself, trust me, I would handle it myself. But I just think that a girl I know, who is a really lovely, sweet girl, came off of Twitter today because she was doing lots of charity work, and someone decided to say that it was fake what she was doing. She was taking the money for herself, and like, she's a good person, like a really kind, sweet girl, wouldn't hurt a fly, and like, she's so upset that she's come off of Twitter. And like, I just think that not everyone is thick-skinned, and not everyone can just let it go. And I know it is really hard, and I think it's just over years I've built up, you know, in myself, that just don't react to it because there's no point. But you know, when I see people that like are good people getting upset over people just saying shit for no reason, I just think, what's wrong with people? Like, has this whole pandemic like not taught you anything? Like, just be kind to people. Like, the mental health struggles that people are going through, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what's happening in people's family. If someone's, you know, if someone's sick, if someone's going through stuff, like, just be kind, or just don't say anything at all. Like, did their mothers not tell them, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it.
Yeah.
Just
The thing is,
say
like,
it.
I didn't realize how much this is helping so many people, like just being able to come on to shows and talk about football, because it, like you say, it takes their mind away from life and things that may be going on. And it's just, yeah, I don't know, I don't even know what it is. It's boredom. They know they're not going to get in trouble, so
Yeah, I think that's half
want.
of the things. And we see all the stuff with the racism and things like that, the sexism, homophobia, whatever. And it's because people don't get punished, and I'm not saying you need to punish someone for posting a picture of me and saying sexual vile things about me, whatever. Like, I'm not saying you need to have your account suspended, but like, there should be repercussions for posting things that are disrespectful, in a character assassinating in some circumstances, and also just completely wrong. Like, this platform needs to monitor what is gone on better. And there's been times where I've reported tweets that I've seen, and Twitter will come back and say that they've checked it out and that it doesn't violate their terms. And I think, how can that not violate your terms?
Like, I've done it so many times, and they always come back with that. It hasn't really done nothing. But no, it has. Like, I've read it. I'm not stupid. Like, thousands of people have read it, and it's obviously violating. But they honestly, I don't know how they measure what is violating and what is not. Does more need to be done to protect people online from trolls or targeting individuals? Like, we both know more needs to be done, but I don't know what can be done. I can't see how they can stop it.
It is very difficult, because there's a very thin line between banter and it not being banter. And like, anyone that knows me will know, I've got so many boys that are mates, like, especially from football and things like that, like always going to football. They know that I can really hack it. And like, there are some things that like people would get upset about that I probably don't get upset about. But not, like I said, not everyone is okay with like taking shit at them all the time, or even once. It shouldn't even be a case. So I don't know how these social media platforms have to do it, but that's not my job to figure it out. It's not your job. It's their job. Who's running the platform, to be able to moderate it and figure out how to stop it.
They probably don't.
They're not stupid. You can see after any game and any game, just making it football orientated, not about me or women or whatever. But if a team loses, you see the abuse that players get. You're entitled to slag off your team, no issue with that. But when you bring someone's race into it and things like that, that's not on. Like, just not on. And there has to be a way that the platforms can monitor what's said. Who was that? I can't remember what her name was. Karen. I can't remember her last name. Who was commentating on Karen Carney, who was on the Leeds game. And the abuse she got, not warranted at all. If a man would have said that, no one would have said anything.
I think Leeds, whoever ran Leeds' social media account, needed to take the blame for that, because you knew what was going to happen. Like, what was going to happen. You knew everybody was going to go after her. So but that's what I mean. If you run any type of social platform, if you're the content creator of any of these platforms, whether it be a football club, whether it be Twitter itself or whatever, you have to be careful with what you say, because there are trolls everywhere. There are people that have gone through a lot and they've got anger and they want to take it out on someone, and it doesn't make it right. But don't give people something that they can bite on for no reason. And if you're going to do that, then you need to make sure that these platforms monitor what is going on and shut it down before that tweet can even be posted. I just honestly don't think they care that much, because people are still going to use it. Like, it's not going to stop anyone. So, but obviously I'm wary of the time. What I want to quickly do is, in 3 or 4 minutes, I want you to give me your greatest ever Spurs team. Let's just do why you've been alive, because people start throwing him like Bill Nickerson and then people like that. You've never seen that, or Jimmy Greaves, and like players that they've never seen. I think since you've been alive, you've only had one goalkeeper since you've been. For me, have you?
More than you? I have had more than one goalkeeper in my 27
years.
Good
goalkeepers, though.
All right, well, we'll go with the reason. I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm gonna stick with most of probably the team from a couple of years ago.
I'd written Lloris before you had even said it, because I don't think anyone else.
Oh God, who am I going for? I think probably Carl. Yeah.
Oh, Walker. Yeah.
I think I'll probably go Carl Walker with that one.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's been better than Walker, to be fair.
I mean, you've put me on the spot. I probably would have gone and had a look through our archives in the last 27 years.
No, this is why we do it like this, because people start thinking and try to get too tactical. If you say it when you haven't planned it, you will say what you really think.
All right. Who am I putting in there? Ledley King.
My favorite. I was gonna say my favorite centre back. He's not my favorite centre back, but I
think. Who are you gonna say? Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
No, Ledley was robbed. Ledley would have been.
King would have been the best centre back. Probably.
It would have been.
Real Ferdinand if he just stopped getting injured.
Who am I going for
here? Spurs greatest every 11. Bell, Gaza, and that's it.
I want to put Vertonghen in, like, because I just absolutely love Jan Vertonghen.
I'm just gonna call him Jan, yeah, because spelling Vertonghen.
I want to put him in because I just absolutely love him, and I always will love him.
I think it's out of him and Toby, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm always gonna go more Jan, just because I love Jan, like, just love him.
Left back, your options. Who are your options?
Who have I got? Danny Rose.
Danny Rose. After Danny Rose, who was before Danny Rose? Eric Edman.
Fucking hell. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to.
Who's your left back now? Oh, Reguilon.
I actually think I'm going to put him in there at this moment.
No, you can't do that. You can't.
I'm not.
He's played like 10 games.
Yeah, but fuck. But I'm not putting Danny Rose in there. I'm not.
Why? What's happened? Was he one of the guys that was he jumping in your DMs or something?
Because I just think do you know what my grievance is with him is that yes, he was very, very good for a period, 2-3 year period. But I can't get over what he said about the club. I just think it's so wrong. And like for me, it just tarnished. It just tarnishes, like, going to the Sun and being so snaky about your own club.
Oh, yeah,
like,
going to the Sun, that was a bit mad.
After that, I was kind of done. You can put him in there for argument's sake.
No, I think you could do actually. I think you could bring Toby into centre back and play Vertonghen.
Okay, we can do that. I mean, I don't hate him that much, but
I mean, I just don't think I could put Rose in there, to be fair, because
that's my reasoning for it. I just think that it was Scott. I just didn't like that. I don't like that behaviour.
No, he's going through some issues, though, isn't he?
True.
All right,
but still.
We got, that's a good fullback. That's a good defense you got there.
That's very
I'm going
good.
First because I can't spell their surnames.
All right, I'm gonna put in them. I'm gonna have Luka Modric.
Yeah, easy.
I'm gonna have Dembele.
Oh. So
I'm gonna go 4-4-2.
4-4-2.
Yeah.
Dembele. This is a good team. If only they play together, you might have actually won a trophy. So you've got to go to left midfield and right midfield. That makes it hard for you.
It does. It makes it hard because I want like Ginola in there.
You can't.
And I want Bale in there. I mean, can everyone just play out of position? Like, it doesn't.
That's what I do. I just put people out of position. I was like,
let's just put everyone out of position. Let's go Ginola. Let's go Bale.
You could have played right wing. Bell could have played left wing easy.
Let's do that. And then I've got a great team here, by the way. And then Kane for me. Harry Kane goes up front. Who do I want up front? I mean, I think I'm going to be really biased here. And it's only because I absolutely idolised him. Love Peter Crouch. No, I absolutely idolised him growing up. He was like, who am I going to say? Yeah, he was my absolute idol growing up.
If you would have left Jermaine Defoe out, I would have just I would have just scratched whoever you had up there.
Never, no. Look, he was, when he went to Portsmouth, my heart was broken, like absolutely broken. And when he came back, I was never happier. So, I mean, that's a pretty good team. That might be out of position.
I was at the lane when he scored just some amazing top bins goal against us, Jermaine Defoe. I just love Jermaine Defoe. I thought he was going to be Ian Wright. For me, he was like Ian Wright.
So good.
He was so good at football, man. And when he hit a ball, it was just, if he hit it on target, it was going in. That's how good I thought Jermaine Defoe was. We're going to give some honourable mentions. Who should we give them to? Klinsmann. Got to put Klinsmann. That's my guy. I like Klinsmann.
I love Teddy Sheringham.
Baller.
But do you know Berbatov? How can you forget Berbatov? You know, Son doesn't even make that team.
You actually had some good players, and that cabinet is still empty. Wow. Wow. No,
if Jose can't do it, then I don't know who will do it.
Yeah, as Monster said, he's a Chelsea fan. If Jose can't do it, then honestly nobody can. But
I
just
give
to
up all
quickly
hope.
recap, we've got Lloris in goal, Walker right back, King and Toby in the centre. For Tongan left back, Janola, we're gonna put him on the right. Modric and Dembele, so you're gonna concede goals, but you're gonna score loads. Bale on the left, Kane and Defoe up front. That, to be fair, that's an amazing team. I don't know if I could have picked a better midfield, to be fair.
I mean, it's pretty good. Like I said, they can be out of position. I don't really care.
Yeah, no, they're all good enough. They should be able to play. They should be able to be versatile, to be fair.
Well, I'd love to see that team all together. I really would love to see it.
Gosh, that's what dreams are for. That is what dreams are for. But Abby, thank you so much for coming on. Let us know where we can find you if you want to be found. And guys, please don't be creeps, man. We don't like creeps over here. Just be nice. If you want to speak to her, just be nice. So where can we find you?
Please be nice. So Abbi_Summers on Twitter. If you want to see me there, or on Instagram, it's Abbi Summers, just without the underscore. As I said, be nice. People be kind. Just doing my job.
Don't be creeps, man. That's it. Just let her be. Let her do her job. Will Abby admit Drogba over Kane? No, she won't. I won't. To be fair, I love DJ Drogba, but not over Kane. Sorry. But yeah, everybody, thank you. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not, please don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to go follow Abby so she can get to like 20k followers, because she's just got loads of followers. But yeah, just be nice. That is the most important thing that has come from this conversation, is please be nice and remember to social distance so that we can all get out of lockdown to actually go and enjoy a football match. We know we can't all beat Abby because she goes to all the Spurs matches, but the rest of us actually want to go watch a football match. So please social distance and be nice so we can go and eventually go watch our teams beat Spurs at the Lane. Everybody have a good evening and see you very, very, very